it gets to a point now where we can't keep saying it's a theory, it's a theory, it's a theory. There is clearly a force of people out there or a group of people out there. What if you say things that they don't like and you have the public's attention, then they will get rid of you. And that's a fact. Andrew Tate, Russell Brand, the list is, there's too many examples now for us to say, well, that's just a coincidence, or that's just Russell Brand, or that was just Andrew Tate's case, or that would, no, there's too many.
Well, that's that with the other side of the argument, weren't it? Are these guys, because like you said, Russell Brand, he's come out and said a lot of things. He's got enough podcasts talking about certain things and exposing certain what he might, what people might think are truths. So that with the other side of the argument, is it just that he's been set up? But then for me, because I believe that within some of the cases, it's like you said, it seems a bit obvious. But then for me, is it too obvious? If they were in the game of setting people up, why would they use the same tactic every time? It's always rape, like or something to do with women.
Rape, though, a point someone made to me about rape is one of those things like, once it's been said about you, even if the case gets pushed off or shoved off, it's with you for life. And probably one of the biggest examples of that is Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby got freed from jail and all them charges got dropped. But does anybody feel like that? Or does anybody think like that? When people say Bill Cosby, they're still thinking he's a little rapist, little pervert. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So they've done something to stain him. And then plus also, the bit that I don't like about it is they clearly done it to lock off his YouTube channel because they keep saying about you can't make no money from YouTube no more and this and that.
Okay.
What has rape got to do with YouTube? So what I mean is this, right?
Well,
for example, think about it. If you get accused of rape today,
you should still
all your finances
innocent till proven guilty.
Yeah, all your finances not supposed to lock off and everybody lock off this, lock off that, lock off this. But it's not right though, is it? Until you prove me guilty. Like if you prove that I've raped a girl or then obviously you can sack me or whatever. But until then, you can't just stop off my money like that, Rasta, because anyone could come out and say I raped her. If a girl makes up a story tomorrow and says that you're gonna lock off my everything based on this, what this girl said. You're not even gonna investigate whether there's any truth in the issue or where. Do you understand what I'm saying? You can't just do that, man.
The other thing with a lot of these accusations as well, for me, I'm not, obviously I can't dictate to a person how to deal with certain things, what's happened to him, but what year did you say it's supposed to have happened?
2006.
Okay, so like just under 20 years ago. So why has it took 20 years?
Because now Russell's saying something.
Well, yeah.
But
I'm saying if it was a genuine accusation, why has it took 20 years? Because there's been a lot of confidence built up in people speaking up, haven't they, over years? So if it was something the prime time would have been a few years ago to say, actually something happened to me a few years and stuff like that.
One, it's an attention. It's a derailment of Russell, and it takes the attention off. So what I mean is this: whatever Russell was saying on his channel, now all the attention has gone to this rape allegation, and now we're more looking at the sexual side of Russell. So they've managed to take all the heat and attention off all this COVID business he was saying and all this system business was saying. Nobody does business about that right now. Right now, they're only talking
Not
about
only that,
they're talking about the rape.
Not only that, but what I was saying as well, it messes up that whatever information he was putting out there. So obviously there's some people who are convinced, like you said, some people know that some of the conspiracy theories are not theories, the actual fact. And then there's some people in the middle, and there's some people who are like, that's a conspiracy theory. So then people in the middle now, what are like, what Russell's saying might be, I'm going to listen to him and follow his podcast and trying to make their mind up. They're now being convinced that what he says is fuckery because of his, what his accused actions
that's
for.
What the morons will think.
But most of
the automatons.
Yeah, but more, like you said last week, most of our automatons.
Well, I don't deal with automatons. I don't talk to automatons, and most importantly, I don't business with no automaton. You going about your automaton business.
Yeah, but Kevin, the thing is, we can say that, and obviously I'm like you, but obviously people do care about the automatons because that's why they've put effort in to clamp down these people. if they weren't bothered about them people, because it's about masses, innit? So if you've got 1 million lemmings and someone's got 2 lemmings, the one with the 1 million lemmings is going to be the one what's got more swing.
Yeah.
You understand me? So, in a sense, you have to business about the thoughts of them, because
No, I don't business.
when the mass shifts to whatever thoughts, and that's when they accumulate more power, innit? When it's just 1 or 2 people, like if it's just me and you. Well, that's why he's doing podcasts in the first place, because he wants to reach out to them people there and raise awareness.
He's not trying. He's a kind person, and he's trying to like
raise awareness.
He's just trying to talk to people, whether you're listening or not, or whether you're doing.
He's not really that bothered.
Business. And just the same as me. If you're listen or if you don't listen, how does that affect me? So at the end of the day, yeah, all I know is this: your lot, and I've said it on here before. I say it point blank. In them automaton people, you're morons. Full blast morons. And I'll tell you why morons. Because why does someone have to spell out to you, yeah, that if they're looking to cancel people, especially in Russell Brand's case, he must be telling some kind of truth, or he must be hurting some kind of feelings, because if Russell Brand was talking absolute rubbish, then leave him alone to chat his absolute rubbish. The fact that they want to cancel him, and the same could be said for Andrew Tate. They throw this man in jail, tried to say the same thing, he was sex trafficking women and all these things. Why would you attack the man if he wasn't saying anything true? Prince disappeared all of a sudden after Prince the artist, he was going to say something, and all of a sudden he vanished. Michael Jackson was opening up his mouth.
With my man, I don't really.
Shortly after. And plus as well, the thing about Michael Jackson was, that's what I'm saying about these conspiracy theories. Michael Jackson's doctor got found guilty in a court of law for murdering Michael Jackson. Yet he only got sentenced to 2 years in prison. So somebody please tell me that. And plus he didn't even serve the 2 years. He served 1 year and was out on the thing where you what is it called now, when you have to behave yourself but they let you out. So at the end of the day, you tell me how you could kill Michael Jackson, because if I kill a man on road now, that's a life sentence. So if I killed a big celebrity like Michael Jackson, you explain to me how you're only going to get 1 year in prison. So what I'm trying to say to you is this, yeah. When I say conspiracy theory, I'm not talking about aliens and all kind of stupidness.
But that's not. But you know something.
And clones in the White House. I'm not going that far. If you all want to talk lizards in Buckingham Palace, that I feel.
Yeah, but that's the same thing again, though. Even with the aliens and like what you're saying there, aliens is like that's the original conspiracy theory, innit?
Yeah, but the fact of
the matter is, we haven't got proof for any of these things. But it's you possibly have some of the statements, but it's even in news now, innit? That the American government, are discussing that aliens is on cards. But then 20 years ago, if I'd have said that or you'd have said that, then you'd be a conspiracy, or even a madman and stuff like that.
USA have come out and said, like, they've admitted on television,
right,
and on news, and Obama's admitted it, to say that certain air pilots claim that they've seen something mysterious in the sky when they're flying. But to tell you honestly, I don't business with that, because like I said, that is all like, it's misty, because there's not no real solid, hard evidence. When we're talking solid, hard evidence, like, we've seen the media. Look, even Joe Rogan. We've seen the media how they went after Joe Rogan when he said something about COVID. Same thing again. He was talking about these vaccines and he's not taking it. And they tried to shut him down and tried to call him all kind of names and tell him all kind of things. Now Russell Brand's doing the same thing and they're trying to shut him down. So what I'm trying to say to you is this. That pattern cannot be a coincidence. And anybody who thinks it's a coincidence, and plus you're seeing it unfold in your eyes, because all of these things are media sensations. When Joe Rogan got cancelled, that was a media sensation. When Andrew Tate got cancelled, that was a media sensation. Russell Brand got cancelled, that was a media sensation. So you can't even lie and say, I didn't see it, I didn't know. Of course you knew. Everybody knew. And your dumb, thick brain can't even put together the fact that clearly there's a pattern here. People talk up, they disappear. People speak up, they disappear. And you want to say, well, I don't know who's doing it, that could be anybody. It could be coincidence, could be down to anybody. But how many anybody's control the media? Like, how many anybody's can really switch off your life account like that? Which is what they've done. I'm serious. Who's got the power to do that? But I don't know.
It was got the power. Because you know what's interesting in a sense? When we was doing certain discussions before, we mentioned once again, regardless of what you think about him, we were talked about Kanye, didn't we? And he come out and said certain things about who his experience has got the power. And he got shut down as well. Exactly. But then a lot of people, like we're saying again, whether you care about them or not, they've bought out of what Kanye is saying because of what happened to him. Because again, with that control, people were into Kanye when he's successful and he's making money and he's this and he's that. Once they shut him off and he's broke like everybody else, all the stuff what he's saying becomes irrelevant. So that's what I'm saying. The manipulation of the masses is what's important, because when you get the mass on side with whatever your story or your accusation is, then you're winning the battle. So when they get the mass convinced that Joe, whatever his name is, has done something, then whatever he said is going to get rubbished. So, like I'm saying again, for me, it is about convincing that middle bracket. But once you've got that middle bracket, that's what politics is, isn't it? It's a fight for...
But that's what spokespeople are, and that's what stand-up people are like. Because they say, you can't fool all the people all the time. So you will get away with, like you said, your automatons, they'll slurp it up. But there'll always be individuals that will see the pattern, see the play, and speak up about it. Well, then that's when they come to the forefront, like this, what we're doing now, where they'll say on a public platform and wake all you fools up, as it is say, come on. Because as well, what's in the discussion about this, because I said it like this. This is what I said to the young people I work with. I'd be like, everybody wants to watch a fight, but nobody wants to be in a fight. Like, if a fight was to happen, now, everybody's quick to go and crowd round in a circle.
Majority, unless you're a boxer or a fighter.
Everybody's, you're curious.
Spectator.
Everybody wants to see. He wants to be a spectator. But if I said it's going to be you in the middle of that boxing ring and everybody's watching you fighting twice, for your death and all that, no, not me, not today. Yeah? And it's the same thing with this thing here. Like, for example, when it comes to the culture, we don't... Andrew Tate can get cancelled. Who cares? Who cares about Andrew Tate? Russell Brand can get cancelled. Who gives a fuck? How's about when I start talking about cancelling you? But the same man what locked off his account, what, you think he can't lock off your account? And where do you think this culture's growing? Like, if we allow these people to continue to be able to cancel people at this flick of a switch whenever they choose to, and we're all going to lap it up like stupid idiot dogs, then where do you think it ends? It ends with, if you misbehave or if you step out of line, we'll lock off your account too.
Well, that's similar to what we were saying about...
It's a very simple equation. You don't need to be very smart to work this out and we're like, okay, I like this, yeah. Hey, what happened to me? Because I'm a legal person and I never do anything wrong. So.
Well, that's what we were saying earlier, weren't we, about the work vibes. We were saying the same thing about the work vibes. But what
they're not even realising, you can't say anything wrong. And here's another thing. You might be thinking, well, I don't want to say anything wrong. There's nothing wrong that I want to say. Until they lock off that particular part of conversation that you can't speak about no more. Like, for example, I'll give you one example.
Everything.
Like the transgender argument now. You can't say nothing bad about that. Say anything bad about that, I'll kill you. Instant death. If you say anything about that, people will stone you. So they basically, what I'm saying is they control the narrative
what you can say.
of what you can say. And one day you might be in a position where you feel like, I don't agree with that and I want to speak. You better shut up. Because even this, what we're doing here now, even this very podcast, I'm practically risking my neck to talk to you like this. Truth be told, let's be real honest. Do you know what I mean? This is not, it's not PC, is it? It's off the books. It's off the book. Don't tell anybody. You get me? But yeah, for real talk, man, this is serious.
What interests me as well, because a similar thing happened to, what do you call it, didn't it, Johnny Depp, but for whatever reason, because he's not speaking up about the issues around or anything relevant to people like that. People got sided with him, didn't they? They thought they kind of manipulated people to side with Johnny Depp. You know, and it's the same kind of accusation, isn't it? So that's why I'm saying that it's just interesting. Now, I don't know what's happening. I don't want to go and say Russell Brand's not guilty, you know, because he might be, I don't know. And, there's two sides.
That's not even the point.
It's not the point, because when he was younger, he was a bit of a madman, weren't he, as well?
He's admitted that.
And he's kind of come round and changed his life and stuff like that. So he will have done some stuff.
Plus, I don't like the hypocrisy. It's all hypocrisy. People talking the talk when really and truly, how dare you? Like, for example, they're saying, oh, R. Kelly did what he did. And don't get me wrong, I'm not offending R. Kelly. But what I'm saying is, you're all doing it. So at the end of the day, why are you only throwing R. Kelly under the bus? Like, it's been well documented. Like, for example, just one example that I know of off the top of my head. Elvis married some young thing. Some proper, like, 14-year-old thing. Married it. So we're not even talking about you slept with it. You married it. And plus there's pictures of you and this girl in wedding dress and suit and everything. Why are you not talking about that? Why are we focus on R. Kelly? And there's all so many other people to be talked about, but yet you want to just throw this one particular person under the bus. So I'm just
it's wrong whoever's doing it.
If we're going to talk about it, then let's talk about it.
Everybody what's doing it.
If we're saying it's wrong, then let's everybody bring it out. All you little kiddie fiddlers and all you little tutti fruities. Do you know what I mean? Bring it out but it's true. Or shut your mouth. Because one thing I don't want to hear is I don't want to hear a killer going, oh, he's wronging for killing. When it's like,
you know what
are
it
you
is?
really going to say that? You, of all people, we have to listen to the lecture of killing from a killer.
You know what it is, what I've noticed?
That don't make no sense to me.
It's like they promote a certain culture, yeah? There's a certain culture what gets promoted, like what you're on about in a sense. So when you become successful, part of your success is because they've put it out there that you are involved in this, you've got 100 women, you can get all you want, you drive this. You understand what I mean? Then when you get to a level where they've had enough here, or you're starting to speak out on certain things, or you're going against the grain, or you're making a bit too much money, or whatever the case may be, then the things what they used to promote you was doing becomes like demonized.
Yeah.
And it works, you get what I'm so like, even when it comes away from, like when they invite certain people to the White House and all that, I've always said like Jay-Z, and when they were selling rocks on the road, if they got caught up at that time, they'd have banged them in jail for about 20 years. But because he's now become a successful person, but he said, this is what I used to do, but you know what I mean? But now he's that level of success.
Guy.
Yeah, come to White House.
Yeah,
Easy, come to White House. He's talking about shot this and shot that and all he put things happening on the road. But when he was on the road doing it, they would have locked him up for it.
But now, to be honest with you, what he's doing...
So it's just like a bit...
he's doing now is even
game,
bigger.
Innit?
So no wonder they rate him and respect him.
Who's that?
Any of them, like Jay-Z, Eazy-E, any E. Or any of you fools with a letter attached to any name. Cardi B. I don't know what the B stands for, but there's a B. Now, at the end of the day, yeah, all of them fools, the reason why they will celebrate them fools is because they're like Pied Pipers.
Yeah.
They're leading us all astray, leading us down some stupid, idiot, bullshit path. Like you said even last week, down one path, what they're definitely leading us down is the, what do they call it now? Not the materialism, the shopping. What do they call it?
Consumerism.
The consumerism. Yeah. They're definitely walking us down that
because it makes money.
Path.
Anything what makes money, they're walking us down.
We're making all these people money. Gucci, Prada, and Nike, all these, we're making them trillionaires. I don't even say billion no more. Trillionaires. You know what I mean?
No.
And we're like
the number one top of Forbes is Louis Vuitton.
I can imagine now because every fool wants some LV.
But Louis Vuitton... It's not only Louis Vuitton, it's LVMH. I think it's Louis Vuitton, Moet, and NSA. So everything what we as black people purchase, you know what I mean, basically.
But
yeah, everything what we are kill each other for. He's number one on top Forbes list. So people, just log what I'm saying here, because it's important, yeah? Louis Vuitton, what we all dead for and feel like, so we have to have, and Moet, what we throw over each other in dance, and NSA, what we buy buckle upon buckle. He's number one on the Forbes list. Where are you on Forbes list?
And plus as well, you know why I have to sometimes hurt my black people sometimes. You buy a drink, what you can't afford. Most of the time, some big expensive drink. And pour it on the floor. Just to say.
You bought it.
I bought it and I bought it. Look, dash it, man. Yeah, man, dash with that. No problem. And pick me a starve at home or some. Do you know what I mean? Come on, man. Oh, how, since when black people are known as being poor? Most of the time we're poor. So how have we got drink to dash with? How have you got any money to dash with?
Yeah.
You know, videos. Hey,
And like I said again, reminder: the person's drink who you dashing where is number one on the Forbes list.
I seen Kodak Black. Yeah, Kodak Black took 100 grand and just threw it into the sea off the side of this boat, just to say, look, man,
I can do it.
Now dash your money, 100 bags, no problem. I was thinking like, you fool,
Yeah.
idiot. Even if you've got money, how dumb is that? And you have never, ever in your life seen no other nation do nothing so
Or is
dumb.
it us? If you feel like it's us,
You've never seen nobody else do no so dumb in your life.
yo, if you feel like it's us, yeah, let us know. Because I'd like to know your opinion. Because I've always thought that. How are we dashing things away like that? And how are we supporting millionaires to become richer? You know what I mean? How comes we're not considering what's going off? So if you've got a different opinion and you can explain why some of us do things like this, then please let us know.
And the
We're willing to
rappers-
take it on board.
Sorry to interrupt. And the rappers are leading us down the. No, sorry, not the rappers. The industry
Music.
is leading us, and even linked to the film. Yeah, is
Moving.
influencing all this
Entertainment.
is influencing all this violence and gang culture and certain things. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And at the end of the day, it's like, worst thing is, this is what I find most upsetting about it, right? The ones that are ringleading all this gangster culture, very few of them are actually really about that life. In fact, most of them, it's just some acting thing, or it's just some.
Or they're
You
associated.
sound good, or you're associated to that life.
Yeah,
but
you're not in the
truth
middle,
is, you
like
ain't about that life, and that's another reason why I have problem watching Top Boy and all them things. Because I know Kano ain't about that life. Don't get me wrong. I know he comes from the street. I know he's not no idiot. Or he's not no punk.
Yeah, but he's on the middle
You're
like
not out
that.
there killing people,
But then
or juggling
again-
and all this business. You might know people like that, but you're not like that. And it's the same for all the other fools who are in that thing. You're just acting. So I'm sick of seeing it. My whole culture is littered with actors. And let me tell you what I mean, right? When I was younger, we used to be into the dancehall culture and all them things there. And I suppose nobody sounds more authentic than a Jamaican. When he's going into his bad man thing and listen, they sound like the business. And one of the top DJs back in them days, especially 90s, was Bounty Killer. Bounty Killer dubs was expensive. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because that was what people covered. When he come in with his
Bounty and Bean,
mercy, and all this, that deep voice, and it starts talking his talk. Listen, when I was younger, I was naive enough and fool enough to think that these man, Jamaica, the man come from, and a doggy.
I thought he was a real bad man.
Them chatting at Jamaica if you're not really about that life, they will kill you. Little did I know that now his career's kind of over, and now he does certain podcasts and certain documentaries. He's saying like he was never a bad man.
No.
Even in his ends, he's never known as no bad man. Do you understand? And plus as well, to add to that, one thing is I seen him doing a stage show, right?
Yeah.
Him and Beanie were doing a stage show, and gunshot let off in the crowd. And all I'm trying to say is, you have never seen a man look so scared in your life. You have never seen a man exit a stage so fast in your life. But yet this is a man what claims, he basically goes like, I hear gunshot for breakfast where I live. We hear that crack of dawning in the morning where I live.
But this is a good point to move on to, because before we were talking about topics to talk about in podcasts, when we were saying about an interesting topic, what we spoke about, guys, was updating the culture. And it's what I've heard on other podcasts, because that's part of the culture. So don't get me wrong, there is certain serious man within the dancehall scene, but the majority is probably, like you're saying, they're just doing music. Or like Supercat and certain man's name call up, that they were gunman and certain thing. But the majority of them is just, and it's same with the hip hop. But then the question would be then, why do we feel the need to promote? Because Bunty did an interview for himself where he said, yeah, he does feel a bit away because he's promoted certain badness in his earlier career. But he said he ran with what was working for him.
What's working and what's the culture, but we're
So
hyping it up.
and we hype it up for him.
Because
so that's where he continues it.
We're in a daze.
So then my question is, what is it with the culture where we feel that we need to have that badness involved in it for it to be?
It's not badness. It's the admireness. It's the admire. Because I tell you what, yeah. It's like, for example,
So like you said, Bunty there, for example, there, yeah. People dead, and even now, if you listen to it, it's even gone peak now with it. You know what I mean? Because the youth them what's come now, the DJs them, they are just on some machine gun and you know what I mean, man for dead and killed broad day, like whatever. So it's like it's the culture and the hip hop, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? So and then some of us obviously get caught up within that, but looking back into it from even a deeper angle, looking at the industry, like you were saying again, and all these media things. My thoughts on it is that, and probably everybody's thoughts to be fair, because like you said, these things in your face, it's been promoted that way. They've been used to promote that culture. You understand what I'm saying? The negative aspect, so that the youths and the people then pick up that lifestyle. And they end up doing what we're doing to this day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Ultimate manipulation, because weakness will always admire strength. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? When something's weak, you admire the strength. Like that's what we all. You know when they say you live. What did they say when they say you live vicariously through other people? Do you understand? It's a bit like a boxer. Unbeknownst to most people, when you're cheering that boxer on and you want to see that fighter show a certain spirit, a certain attitude, like Mike Tyson. Everyone loved Mike Tyson because he showed the spirit and the attitude, what we want to see from our fight. We want to see you go in there, want to see you be mean, want to see you destroy the guy. But really that's because they're your inner wants and desires. Like you wish you're living vicariously through the man. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And it's the same for these rappers. You wish you had certain balls and you wish you had certain gumption behind you, but you don't. So that's why when you see it, you admire it. And even down to a street level, if you think about it, it's true on the street level, because I've heard young people say this, and this is what I know about young people. When little black boys and that reach a teenage age, 15, 16, 17, and start touch road and start rare. The respect what he has for well, I know a man specifically, but the respect what his son had for him went downhill like that. And that's because he's measuring him against the other men.
What is coming across.
And as far as he's concerned,
those
other men are real men. They've got balls. They do things. They stand behind their principles. They stand behind their words. And any man on this planet now, what says, like, I don't take orders from nobody. Nobody can't touch me. Anybody mess with me, I dead. You kind of get a bit of respect because not many people have got that kind of balls.
It's funny you said that because like you were saying, back to the Top Boy kind of reasoning. Like, so I was saying, the people's been saying, how can my man drop out like that? You know what I mean? Like, he's almost a real character. Because in the Top Boy, even though you guys don't watch it, he's like, didn't take no talk, and you know what I mean? He's for the road code, he's for the morals of the road code. Anyone disrespect, he's killing them without even questioning. So, like, he becomes like that look-to person, doesn't he?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And obviously you've got the other character there, Sean, as well. But then when I was driving, I was listening to One Extra, and there was some interview with one of the characters on One Extra. Well, it's successful, innit? And it's becoming like a big thing for them guys. And you're kind of proud of them for making a success of themselves, because Kano's a bad boy actor still. But then you ask the question, like, because he said the show's about the black community. One of the actors what were being interviewed, and me and you know, hold on now, me and you know that the black community is not like that. There might be certain aspects of the black community in corners what's like that, and certain people might live like that. But on a whole, that doesn't represent the black community. You get what I mean? And that's what's going out in the mainstream of the media. Yeah.
Everything always has to be. Why do we always every single time? It's boring. I'm like, drug dealers, shoot. It's boring. Like anybody who think, it's no, Top Boy, no, who's gonna get shot. It's almost as predictable as Coronation Street and Emmerdale. Like, for example, at Christmas, on all them shows, someone's going to die.
Yeah.
Or there's going to be some big murder investigation. Or there's going to be something big happen because it's Christmas. Do you know what I mean?
But then again, for me, it's like going back to the culture again, because like I said to you guys last week, when we said that about Top Boy, because I went through that stage decades ago. I went through a stage where I couldn't take watching no more British street shows or American street shows because we'd just be getting vomited out and they're all the same and it's all blood this, blood that, or if it's American vibe, it's yo nigga this, yo nigga that, and it was just the same. But then I said to you again, I don't know what people's opinion are in that, but I was saying if you look into it then, from even the early days where we were into it and we can't deny when it was New Jack City and Juice and Boys in the Hood, it was the same shit then. But we said that was the shit, and we still stand to it now.
But that's why it's supposed to be for the young people, obviously, what don't know what they're doing and don't know what they're talking about. They're supposed to go, yeah, it's the shit. Adults, what I've got more experience and I've had more life experience.
We don't need to see this anymore.
Yeah, it's just some perpetuation, and why we're perpetuating the same story when obviously we're supposed to want the story to change, and the story can't change if you keep stuck on stupid. And plus as well, it's the same for the slavery movies. Like
you know what? It's like this guy's read my mind, you know, because that was the next thing I was just gonna say.
It's just the same regurgitation.
I said the
if a black guy's in a
same
movie,
thing years
he
ago.
has to dead. It's still even like that to this day.
I'm not watching no more
We still
slavery.
got a black Superman or a black James Bond or no.
It's
So
either
to
slave
me,
or gangster.
It's some stupidness. It's some absolute stupidness.
No, he's right, and the fact that you just mentioned that just makes me more confident in what I was saying. That I'm not watching it. I've got I'm in the right feelings to not watch it because it's the same thing. So the question is again, why is it that most of the movies, what's got all the good black actors in, it's either gangster roles or it's slave movies.
And it don't matter anyway.
You understand what I mean? So these are the questions what you got to start asking.
It don't matter anyway because the bottom line is like they said and like Bonte.
Unless you've got Black Panther, obviously, what was like one of Marvel's biggest selling movies, Black Panther. Yeah, one of Marvel's biggest selling movies. Okay, go on. What were you saying? Sorry.
Yeah, you got. I forgot what I was saying.
Sorry.
The thing about Black Panther, I'll cut this out, is the fact that it's the plot. The plot to me was wrong. It was we've got secrets. We want to hold it against the other African countries,
mate.
Just to make sure that we keep the colonizers in their place. Whereas the Killjoy, whatever his name,
Killmonger.
His thing was let's spread it amongst Africans.
Yeah, and he was the bad guy. Yeah, he's the bad guy. So it's all again. You have to look. You have to read in between the lines because Black Panther. I had mixed emotions because obviously Black Panther, it was successful and it was big, and it's a black superhero. So initially your emotions were like, yeah, I'm feeling this. But then when I looked into it, that's one of Marvel's biggest selling movies.
Yo, you passed my bedtime and it's chip. I'll just tell you that straight.
Yeah. No, I was saying it's one of Marvel's biggest selling movies. And we've all gone and like made that the most successful movie what it is. And really what they're selling us there is that they've got Africa, what's not in the position what they've shown it on this movie. They've got Africa as this like uplifted state with all this technology and things like that. What's not in relation to reality. So it's like a piss take for me really in some ways. It's a piss take.
But you know what? We always leave them wanting more. So if you want more, tune in next time. But yo,
In a
seriously,
bit.
I need to chip. I'm hungry. I'm starving. Nothing's good's going to come from this right now.